Wolverine in X-Men the Animated Series doesn't have bone claws. I've noticed in the marketing for X-Men 97 Season 2 that we're seeing a lot of feral Wolverine with bone claws since Magneto ripped the adamantium out of him in Season 1, which is fine because that's just adapting the comics, except he doesn't have those! In X-Men's original animated run, they made it very clear that he never had claws until his time at Weapon X. In a flashback to Wolverine's time in World War II, he uses these metal climbers to scale a cliff with Captain America and fight bad guys, since he doesn't have natural claws.
You know, these things ain't half bad.
There's also a scene where all of the X-Men's powers are disabled by a villain, and Wolverine is still able to extend his claws. Though it clearly hurts like hell because he can't heal at that moment.
There's nothing mutant about these.
This is all because this show was being produced in real life around the time the retcon happened in the comics in 1993. In those books, it was assumed he was given claws by Weapon X for a long time, but then when his adamantium was torn out, they realized the claws were coded too, and he just didn't remember it because they wiped out parts of his memory during the process. It's a light retcon, but it makes Wolverine's mutant powers more unique, and it's a nice addition to his history. But that was revealed while the cartoon was still in production, working with earlier explanations, and they never got around to adding the retcon into the original series. So now X-Men 97 is having to recreate the retcon in their own canon. He'll either have to say he always had them and just misremembered his time in World War II, or maybe they're a secondary mutation like Emma Frost's diamond form and they can just treat it as some sort of new development. Either way, I actually don't really mind all that much because I think the bone claws look really cool and it's a nice way to show how Wolverine's powers have upgraded over his long lifespan. The movies made them such an integral part of the character's history that we forget it wasn't always like that. Case in point in the animated iteration, because